All right, today we're going to be working on a 2016 Honda CR-V installing the trailer hitch. We're also going to be installing the lights, tapping into the existing vehicle's wiring to install trailer light. We're going to start by unboxing everything. I will leave links in the description for both the wiring harness for the lights. I'm going to start by getting underneath the vehicle and disconnecting all these plastic clips on the bottom of this plastic piece. It won't drop all the way out because you got to come up in the wheel well here and get a couple Phillips screwdrivers. It's pretty tight behind this wheel, and you want to be careful not to strip the heads of the Phillips screws out. If you're careful, you can get them out. And then the plastic piece will drop out of the bottom. And if you live on a dirt road like me, you're going to get covered in sand and salt and dirt. Next, it's time to pop these rubber dampeners that hold the muffler on. The muffler's just hanging by them, and if you spray a little bit of WD-40 on them, it helps them break free. You can use a pry bar to pry them off. Once they're removed, I'm making sure that the threads in the unibody of the vehicle are clear, and because I live in a northern state, they're a little bit rusty. And so you might have to chase the threads with a tap to clean them out. Otherwise, you're going to strip your bolts out. I actually didn't have a tap, but a little trick that you can do is take a bolt that you know is the right thread pitch and grind down 2 flat spots on either side of the threads. And then when you run it into the nut, it kind of acts a little bit like a tap and taps the threads out as you tighten it in. It gives a spot for the debris to get caught as you're threading it in. So I run it up into all 4 bolts on either side just to clear everything out. And one of them was pretty bad, so that was why I ended up having to do this. I'll leave links in the description to majority of the tools that I use. And the cordless impact was great for chasing those threads. But above the muffler, I couldn't reach it in, so I had to use an end wrench and a ratchet. And it was a little bit of a pain, but I got it sorted out. Next, I'm going to put the side brackets on here. And I'm not going to tighten them all the way because I'm not quite sure what the spacing needs to be for the middle piece between the 2 brackets. Run the bolts up tight, but leaving them just a little bit loose. I do this to both sides and then put the piece on that runs between the 2 brackets. Now, you're going to have to take this middle piece back off, but I put it on and tighten it up just so that I can set the spacing for the 2 brackets that bolt into the unibody. So I tighten it up so that I know the spacing. The 2 side brackets are pulled tight to the middle piece. And then with the spacing set, I just run the bolts up into the unibody up underneath. And then those are tight and good to go. A couple of the bolts were really awkward to get to on top of the muffler. So just do some grunting and make some funny faces and you'll get it figured out. Then I get the rubber hangers for the muffler, snake back into place. And then I don't remember the exact dimensions where I cut this thing out, this hole in this plastic piece. You do have to cut it out. I just use an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel, and you can kind of get reference based on the indentations in the bottom of this piece where I drew my lines, and I ended up having to cut one more of these little ribs over a little bit later in the video, and you'll see that here in a minute. So just cut through the plastic and pull out the rest of the foam stuff. And you'll see here that I already took the middle piece out. That's because the middle piece needs to be out so that you can get this plastic piece back up in. With my hole cut out, I can snake the black piece back up in. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt under the wheel well, snaking everything between all the plastic pieces of trim and getting them back in the right spots. But once you get it sorted out, there's the 2 Phillip head screws that go up into place in there. And then you can go ahead and put the clips back underneath that hold it in place and the screws that hold it in place. And then you'll see here where I had to trim out just a little bit more so that I could get a wrench on the end of the bolts that hold the middle piece in. It's not too bad. You can just kind of hold it up in place and get all the bolts tightened up. And because you already tightened it to the frame and you already checked your spacing, it should line up pretty well. The middle piece should fit in between the other 2 brackets. And then don't forget the little U-bolt that goes over the tow hook strap. And now it's time to dig into the wiring. So I remove the spare tire cover in the trunk. Once you get the plastic clips off, then you just kind of yank up on this bottom trim piece and it should come out. So here's what the plastic clips look like. I think you push them all the way down to get it to release. So you push the middle piece all the way down to get it to release, and then to reset it, you pop it all the way back up so it's sticking up. So then when you reinsert it, the middle would be sticking up. You shove it down in the hole, press it down flush, and then it locks into place. Now we have to take the side panels off because we have to access the wiring underneath this plastic to tap into the wiring for the tail light, which is what will run the trailer lights. So use a flathead screwdriver to pop off this little plastic piece underneath this handle, and then I believe there's a couple screws underneath there that you have to take out. And then there's also this little tie down strap here in the back that you got to pop off, and another little plastic clip plug thing that you got to pull off at the bottom. And then you just kind of start yanking, and you have to pop off the plastic off its little plastic connectors, and you feel like you're going to break something, but just yank it. It'll come off. You yank all the way up the top into this lighter color trim, and it'll come apart. Now, it really is pretty tight on your hands to reach in here and get to the wiring, but there's this blue plug in here that you have to unplug. And what we're going to do is we're going to unplug this blue plug. We're going to snake our wiring harness in, and we're just going to plug each end of the wiring harness into either end of the blue plug. And they can only go on one side in one orientation, so just monkey around with it till you get it right. And then tuck them back in out of place. Try to get them in a spot where when the plastic goes back, you're not crushing any of the wires. And then I think I either drilled or used a self-tapper, or maybe used a hole that was already there to snug up the ground wire just to the frame, the chassis of the vehicle somewhere, so that I have a good ground for the trailer lights. And I had to monkey with the wiring quite a bit to find a happy spot for it to where it wasn't going to get pinched by the trim when I push the trim back into place. In order to power the trailer lights, we need to add a fuse to the fuse panel here underneath the dash of the driver's side vehicle. Right next to these two 15 amp fuses here on the bottom, it looks like it's 6 spots over from the bottom right, and I think this is a 10 amp fuse or 20. I don't actually remember what size fuse this is, but I believe it came with the wiring kit. Push that in, and then we should be good to go. Our trailer lights should be working now. So spend a little bit of time making sure the wires are in a happy spot, because the last thing you want is to shove all these trim pieces back and then crush a wire, and then it's not working and you can't figure out why. So I spent quite a bit of time getting everything tucked into place. Just make sure the little red plastic clips on the back side of the plastic are lined up, and kind of give it a good firm push, and everything will pop back into place. And something to be mindful of, you can see me monkeying around here with the front part of this trim on this black piece, and that's because when I put it back in and popped all the clips back in, I didn't have, there's like a little clip, a little shelf holds the back black piece here in line with the piece in front of it, and I had that little clip piece on the outside, and so I had to work backwards a little bit, get it clipped back in. So before you snap it back in, just make sure it's lined up flush before you shove all those clips in. And then put the screw back in where the handle is to fold the seats forward, put the plastic cover back on, and here you go. You'll get another shot of how these plastic clips work. This bottom black trim piece just kind of pops back in, except for these clips. So you can see I pull out on them, and then the button pops forward, and then just put it in place and push the button flush. Put the cover back over the spare tire, and I routed the wire here through this luggage strap or tie down strap. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's nice because I didn't have to cut any of the plastic, and it's easily accessible and can just hang out the seal of the trunk. As long as it's not right in front of the latch when you close the trunk, it'll be just fine and can reach your trailer light. Then you can wind it up when you're not using it and keep it right inside the little mesh bag dealio here. So to test it, if you don't want to hook up a trailer and you want to make sure it's working, you can use a multimeter. If you don't have a multimeter, I'll throw a couple different options in the description of this video, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to DC voltage, which is going to be the symbol of a V with a straight line above it. Stands for DC. So I'm turning the blinker on, and we're going to put one probe in the plug that the white wire goes to, because that's our ground. And then to remember what color trailer lights do what, I always just remember that yellow has 2 L's in it. So L is for left, so yellow is left, and green has an R in it, so it's for right. And then brown is for your running lights. I turn the blinker on, and the multimeter lags a little bit, but you can see it jumping between 0 and 10, 11, 12-ish volts, because these lights run on 12 volts DC. So I can see that it's flashing, the voltage is going up and down, so that means that my trailer lights will work. So I hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check the description for any tools that I use, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer. Thanks for watching.